This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Nick George.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today I have the great pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Keith Fuicelli, with Fuicelli and Lee Law. Keith, how's it going today?
It's going great. Beautiful day, and thanks for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
We're glad to have you. Tell us all about Fuicelli and Lee Law, which can be found online by, is it Colorado Injury Law right now?
It is. ColoradoInjuryLaw.com is our URL. Our phone number is, I think, the easiest to remember of any in Colorado because we have the fours. So you dial, any area code, although we're still working on Fort Collins, but at least the main Denver ones, you've got 303-720 and then 444-4444. So we've got the fours, and Fuicelli and Lee, we are an injury law firm that has been in business for more than 17 years, helping folks in Colorado.
Nice. How did you get into the business of law?
Well, I always knew I wanted to be a trial lawyer, and almost all of our partners were former prosecutors. So I, went to high school in Colorado, went to undergrad at CU and law school at CU. So I've always been kind of a Colorado kid. And then after law school, I was a prosecutor in Jefferson County for almost 5 years, as was my law partner, John Lee, prosecutor in Jefferson County. And we've got, I think, 5 former prosecutors from Jefferson County that all work with us, basically helping injured folks in Colorado, fight insurance companies and big companies that have wronged them.
What are some myths and misconceptions that you commonly have to dispel with clients about your specific niche in law?
Yeah. I would say one of the biggest myths is that people that are injured are more often than not exaggerating their symptoms, making things up, trying to recover money. I can just tell you that hardly ever happens. I suppose it does happen on occasion, but there's this kind of preconceived notion that's what people do, and the insurance companies kind of prey upon that bias. So when we walk into court, if a case is going to trial and we're representing someone who's been injured in, say, a car crash or something, we actually are like the least credible people in the world. I think people may think more fondly of Congress members than they do plaintiffs in personal injury matters. So once we are able to tell our client's story and put the truth out there, then people understand that what's really going on is it's an insurance company that's behind the wheel. And actually, that's the biggest misconception. So if you're in a car crash in Colorado, let's say John Doe hits you, you're trying to settle with John Doe's insurance company, and they decide solely how much to offer, whether to settle or not. And if they lowball your claim, you don't get to sue the insurance company. You have to sue John Doe. So when you walk into court, it's my client versus John Doe. And sometimes the jurors don't understand that it's really insurance is at play. And insurance is the one that's, pulling all the levers, controlling the puppet, deciding everything. And the real reason those jurors are there is because some insurance company lowballed the claim or wrongfully denied the claim. That's the biggest misconception that I see.
Who is your target client, and how are you marketing yourself to them now in the digital world?
Well, that's a great question. Our target client is really, it runs the whole gamut of socio and economic people, really. It's everyone. It's anyone that's been injured through the wrongdoing of someone else. And obviously, any of your listeners know that we are an inundated industry. So you cannot drive anywhere and not see billboards or turn on your TV. It is a very, very competitive market. So you do have to stand out. And fortunately, we've been doing this long enough that we have a track record of doing the right thing and frankly, being exceptional trial lawyers. So that really helps us connect with people in the digital world. So we do have a podcast. I run a podcast called the Colorado Trial Lawyer Connection, which is a podcast where I interview Colorado trial lawyers after they try a case, what worked, what didn't work. So we utilize that avenues, all kinds of search engine optimization. I mean, and this, in my world, my business, you can absolutely never stop marketing, both sort of all the traditional grassroots stuff to make sure we're getting referrals from clients to trying to find new people. And then, of course, it really is almost a given that you have to provide exceptional customer service. Like that is a given bar, that's the foundational piece. And then from there, we kind of go from there. I don't know. Does that answer your question?
It does. That was a great answer. Very thorough. I've only asked one person this question. He was a dentist, I believe. It came back with, nope, my life was perfect. But is there something that happened in your life that was a struggle, a hardship that you overcame that made you the person that you are today that you want to share with us?
For sure. In that I was back in 2007, I was jogging around City Park in Denver, and I was run over by a car going 45 miles an hour. I had to be resuscitated at the scene. Everybody thought I was dead. I spent 2 months at Craig Hospital. So that has had a profound impact on me, how I represent clients, and sort of making me aware of what matters in life and what doesn't matter. So that was a very profound life event, if you will.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what made you who you are today, for sure.
For sure.
What is the big takeaway that you want for the listener to take away from our interaction today regarding Fuicelli and Lee Law?
I would say, first of all, we are very proud with how we represent people. Look at the reviews. But the biggest takeaway isn't so much hire us. There is a misconception when sometimes people are involved in crashes where there's like a faux pas with hiring a lawyer. I personally believe and feel strongly, if you have been injured in any event that is not your fault, you would be crazy to do that without consulting with and probably hiring a lawyer. There are all kinds of studies out there that show that people that hire lawyers, they get more money and they don't have to deal with the insurance companies. So whether it's a workplace injury, construction, and this is probably common sense, but I'll say it anyway, the more serious the injury, the more you need lawyers quickly to preserve evidence. And, the more complicated catastrophic injuries, which we've handled many, the earlier we need to be involved and the longer those take. So number one thing is, if you've been hurt, reach out, get in touch with someone that has a good reputation. And by all means, check us out, coloradoinjurylaw.com. Look at our reviews. Give us a call. Consultations are always free, and we can walk you through the process and let you know if you've got a case or not.
970-444-4444, right?
No, sadly, we don't have the 970s, which is very frustrating for us. But 303-720-4s will get you to us. And I'm going to work on getting those 970s. It is, maybe your listeners know, it's actually really hard to get single digit repeater phone numbers in Colorado.
Well, you own the two other biggest ones, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Keith, it's been amazing interviewing you. It's been very educational. And if I ever need somebody like you, it'll be you that I call for sure. We really hope the most and the best for Fuicelli and Lee Law moving forward.
I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on. This has been fun.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfortcollins.com. That's gnpfortcollins.com or call 970-438-0825.